I just went to start this and then all of a sudden got all nostalgic because I feel like this is one of the first flannels I ever wore. Aw. What is going on, peeps? Welcome back to the channel for another BuzzFeed test. I got two videos for you this week. A BuzzFeed test today, a restaurant test on Sunday. So it should be a pretty good week. Yesterday though, I did a poll, kind of a poll on my Instagram story. I put up 3 options for you guys. I let you vote yes or no. The one with the most yes votes won, and that was, of course, the grilled cheese bread bowl. This one's also brand new. It just came out a couple hours ago when I'm filming this, so I'm excited for it. Now let's get right into it. So guys, for this, obviously, we're gonna be making the bread bowl made of grilled cheese, but we also have to make a homemade tomato soup. And for all that, I grabbed a loaf of potato bread, chicken broth, cheddar cheese, and crushed tomatoes, some heavy cream, salt and pepper, a stick of butter, an egg, some garlic, and 1 onion. And because I think it's gonna take longer, let's just start with the soup. Of course, I had to chop up this entire onion and some cloves of garlic. Add those to the counter of how many onions and garlic cloves I've chopped. God knows how many that's up to by now. But in a big pot, I added a few tablespoons of butter and let that melt down, and then that entire chopped up onion. I gave that a second to cook down, added in my garlic cloves, and then gave both of those about 5 minutes to completely cook down and brown up. You can now add in 14 ounces of crushed tomatoes, which was half of that can, 2 cups of chicken broth, and 1/4 cup of heavy cream. Along with some salt and pepper, of course. Give that a good mix. You want to bring it to a boil, and then cover it and let it simmer for about 15 minutes. After those 15 minutes, mine was still looking pretty watery and light in color, but hopefully after I blend it up, that will change. So after I gave it a minute to cool, that's what I did. I tossed it into my older blender, because I think this one's probably the most heat resistant. Gave it a good blend for about 1.5 minutes, and that is looking pretty darn good. So now let's move on to the bread bowl. I grabbed 11 slices, which was pretty much 3/4 of that loaf of bread. You're gonna wanna cut all the crust off of each one of them to get some nice squares. I laid them all out in the same pattern that Tasty had them in, and then just chopped up some more garlic, melted down some butter, and then every single one of my pieces of bread got a nice brushing of that. Also, at each seam of each slice, you're gonna wanna put a little bit of egg wash, and then eventually try to crimp them together. Can't say I've seen this technique done before. I also kind of struggle to see how these are gonna form together in a bowl shape, but we will see. Once I had them all pieced together, I grabbed my 2 oven-safe bowls. With the larger one, I coated it in some butter and then started throwing in my bread slices. It became very apparent to me that this outer ring of 5 slices was not gonna cut it. I just quickly cut one more, brushed it in the same stuff, and tried to piece it in there like a puzzle, and eventually I got it to where it was looking decent. I tossed in a crap load of the cheddar cheese slices, I think 7 slices in total, and then the rest of my bread to complete our grilled cheese portion. I also think I'm gonna keep that smaller bowl in there for the first few minutes of baking, just so that it ensures it maintains its shape, even though Tasty didn't do that. In the meantime though, I grabbed my crust sticks, I don't know what else to call them, tossed them in some olive oil and oregano, salt and pepper, and I'm gonna add those in the same degree oven for about 5 minutes to crisp them up as well. Afterwards, I grabbed out my bread bowl, I threw it down with all of those bread sticks, and it is time to finally combine everything together. Alright, so I waited till I got back down here to combine the soup with the bowl, because I think there's a chance this might not work. Hopefully you guys will be able to see any leaks, if they do occur. Oh boy. Oh snap. I think we're in business. If nothing else, I think this soup is gonna be fantastic, because it smells so good. Let me get a little crust stick here. It's delicious. No surprises. I kind of feel like they initially intended this to be like a personal soup bowl like you would get from Panera, but they realized how many calories and cheese and bread is in it, and we're like, we'll make it a platter and make it look like it's for a lot of people. I'm not really sure how I'm supposed to get a piece of the grilled cheese part though without eating the entire soup first. That'll work. Now besides the fact that you can't eat the bowl until you finish all the soup in it, and by that time I feel like the bread is gonna get a little soggy on the outside, it's really good though. I'll give it a 9.2 out of 10. Hope you guys enjoyed today's BuzzFeed test. If you did, slap a big like on this. I will have another restaurant test for you guys this Sunday. That's gonna be an amazing one. And another quick reminder, next Thursday or Friday, I will be at Playlist Live in Orlando. I hope to see a ton of you there. And other than that, guys, have an awesome weekend, and I'll see you right back here on Sunday. Peace!